Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? So, good afternoon. How are you? Let's talk about this Biden new program. Okay. How are you? How you feeling? Ooh, trying to have a good lightning. Okay. Anyway, I guess it's all right like this. Let's talk about this Biden new program. What's going on? So, somebody's already asking a question. Does the law apply even for U.S. spouses, those who are out of status? Wasima, I interviewed us on 30 of July 2014. Am I eligible? Have you been living in the US for 10 years? Yeah, 2014. Today is no, no, July 30th, no, because today is June 18. Yeah, you have to have at least 10 years of residency. I'm going to talk about it. Let me just talk about it before you start asking a lot of questions. Let me just give you what's really going on and, how to go about it. Um, as a matter of fact, it's not going to start until end of summer, really. Uh, Hi, Sabani. Hi, Sabani. How are you? Let's talk about it. So this is what's going on, okay? It's already on DHS website, so it is official, okay? But when is it going to start? It's going to start by end of summer. As a matter of fact, you cannot apply now. We have to wait for it, for instructions to be published in the Federal Register notice. That's when people will be eligible to apply, and it's going to tell you how much it costs and all that, because right now it's just news. Okay, I mean, the news is official, right? So let me just first of all share my screen so we can start from the beginning, because everybody's all over the place now. Let me just share my screen so we can start from the beginning. We have 20 people in the house. Please go ahead and like and share, okay? Please go ahead and like and share so we can take our time to explain it correctly. So I'm gonna share the entire screen here, okay? Share. What? Why is it taking too long? Okay, so share the screen. Can you hear me? Okay, so I said, did it pass? It's an executive order. It's not the law. It's an executive order. It can be challenged anytime. Is it official? Yes, it is official. So let's start with the White House. If you go to the White House website, okay, you're going to see here. I'm going to put it big. If you go to the White House website, you see June 4th, 2024. Then it tells you exactly what are they, how it's going to go about. Okay, so okay, first of all, they have strengthening the asylum screening process. We already talked about it, because they have a ban at the border. Pretty much anybody that enter illegally without being paroled, they are going to be barred from applying for asylum. That we already know. New actions. What are the new actions? The new action is this one. Where is it? First of all, oh, that's not what I wanted to see. That's not what I wanted to see. Okay, let's go with this one. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the US to the White House website later on. Okay, so unity and stability of families. So eligibility and process to be considered on a case-by-case basis. You see, case-by-case basis here. Case-by-case basis. case by case basis. Okay, let me try to get the highlighter. Okay, so case by case basis. Okay, be present in the United States without admission or parole. People who enter the United States without admission or parole, remember that in order to adjust status, even under marriage, you have to enter the United States by inspection, be admitted, inspected, or parole. Okay, but if you came illegally, you cannot adjust status. That's the reason why they came up with this new policy, pretty much to waive unlawful entry. Another condition is have been continuously present in the United States for at least 10 years as of June cut-off date, right? June 17, 2024. And have a legally valid marriage to a U.S. citizen as of June 17, 2024. It's not like somebody get married today, they're not going to qualify, okay? In addition, individual must have no disqualifying criminal history, otherwise constitute a threat to national security or public safety, and should otherwise merit a favorable exercise of discretion. It's pretty much just the same. The way in order to adjust that status, you have to be admissible. The only thing they're waiving here is entry. That's it. If you have other crimes or other inadmissibility issues, you're in removal, you technically have to go through the entire process. Okay? The only thing they're waiving here is unlawful entry. That's all. The only thing they're waiving here is unlawful entry. Lawful entry. Because usually people will apply for a waiver, I-601A waiver for unlawful presence and go get the visa from outside. Or if you have 245I, then you can, waive that and adjust status. But right now what they're saying is that they're trying to give to certain individuals who meet certain requirements a waiver of unlawful presence directly in the U.S. instead of going outside of the United States. Okay. In order to be considered for parole, individual will need to file a form with USCIS along with supporting documentation to show they meet the requirement and pay a fee. Information regarding eligibility and the application process, including a notice in the Federal Register, will be published in the near term. USCIS will reject any filing or individual request received before. Okay, if you file now, it's gonna be rejected. So we just have to wait for the notice to be published in the Federal Register notice. The program, when exactly? Later this summer, by the end of summer. Okay. Upon receipt for properly filed parole in place, request USCIS to determine on a case-to-case whether a grant parole is warranted. Okay. So that's exactly what it's saying here. I'm gonna go under something else. DHS, okay? It's really official on the DHS website as well, Department of Homeland and Security. So you can see they're talking about it. The same thing, eligibility, be present in the United States without admission, have been continuously present in the United States for at least 10 years as of June 17, 2024, and have a legally valid marriage to a U.S. citizen. Okay, then they go and, but they have some other stuff too. I'm gonna double check the let me stop here, take questions. Then I'm gonna go with the fact sheet for the Biden, like the White House website. They have a lot of detail over there. Okay, let me go back to questions first. Okay, so questions. Tishera said they passed the law. The executive order is being signed today, so we already have official stuff on the DHS website and on the White House website. Does it apply to all spouses who are married to U.S. spouses who have been here for over 10 years? No. Basically, they're just trying to waive unlawful entry. Okay? If a person has been married to a U.S. citizen spouse and they came with a visa, usually they don't have a problem adjusting status unless they have been found inadmissible on other grounds. This one is just waiving unlawful entry. This is for people who came, they meet all the requirements except unlawful entry. So they're going to waive them so that they can apply for adjustment of status. Samna Barney. Okay, Samna Barney. Okay. You got divorced, so you're not married. If you got divorced, then you're not married. Then it doesn't apply to you. You gotta be, you see, it says legally married. Yeah, if you got divorced, then it doesn't apply to you. Okay, I'm trying to find the website for the White House so we can discuss what's going on the White House website. Hold on just a second. Okay, I have the White House. Jesus, I forgot it for some reason. Okay, anyway, let me go back again and share my screen. Okay, share my screen. Okay, so White House, you see, June 18, 2024. Meaning what? It is official, okay? President Biden announces new action to keep family together. What is the action? The action is, number one, keeping American families together. Today, President Biden is announcing that the Department of Homeland Security will take action to ensure that U.S. citizens with non-citizen spouses and children can keep their families together. This new process will help certain non-citizen spouses and children apply for lawful permanent residence status that they are already eligible for without leaving the country. That's the key part, right? Without leaving the country. Initially, if you enter without inspection, you have to leave the country. You have to file for the form I-601A, waiver of unlawful presence, provisional waiver of unlawful presence, and once it's granted, then you go outside, right? But a lot of people, sometimes when they go outside, they meet a lot of challenges, and they can't get a visa. Sometimes it's a lot of risk, right? And sometimes the I-601A doesn't get approved and takes forever anyway to get approved. So now what they're trying to do is to waive that part, that requirement. This action will promote family unity and strengthen our economy. Okay. In order to be eligible, non-citizens must, as of June 17, 2024, have resided in the United States for 10 years. 10 or more years, you see, and be legally married to a U.S. citizen 10 or more years, while satisfying all applicable legal requirements. On average, those who are eligible for the process have resided in the United States for 23 years. Anyway, some people have resided in the United States for 23 years. Those who are approved after DHS case-by-case assessment of their application will be afforded a 3 years, you see, to apply for permanent residency. They will be allowed to remain with their family in the United States and be eligible to work for work authorization for up to 3 years, work permit for 3 years, This will apply to all married couples who are eligible. This action will protect approximately 500,000 spouses of U.S. citizens and approximately 50,000 non-citizen children under the age of 21. And if you have a child too, right, like a stepchild under the age of 21, or your own child, right, because you marry a U.S. citizen, you came with your own child, then that child too is going to get the same opportunity as you. So, and then they're gonna do something for DACA recipients as well. What they're saying for DACA is basically they're saying like people with with higher education, DACA recipient with higher education will receive an offer for employment from a U.S. citizen in a field who have received an offer of employment from a U.S. employer in a field related to their degree to more quickly receive work visa. They're going to help them to get, remember, if you're a DACA recipient and you have higher education, because of unlawful presence, you cannot get, sometimes it's hard because you have to go outside to get the visa. And now they're telling they're going to help with the process. Pretty much, I guess they're going to give waiver as well. This is it, right? So yeah, you can go on USCIS website, on DHS website, you can see it. You can go on the White House website, you can see it, meaning what, it is official because it's already on official government websites. But the thing is, it's not going to start until the end of summer. Because why? Because they have to publish it in the Federal Register, give a notice and instruction on how to go about it. Now we're going to talk about what exactly do you need, right? What exactly a person needs. Did I stop? Yeah, I stopped. What exactly the person needs to prove that the person has been here for 10 years. Yeah. What exactly the person needs. Let's say if a person has a notice to appear, because most people, maybe they apply for asylum and they ended up in court. Sometimes they have a notice, not sometimes, usually they have a notice to appear. On the notice to appear, that's official document, okay? It's going to tell us exactly when you enter. And the date they issue the notice to appear pretty much is that also is a proof of your residency, like how long you've been living here. That's for people who are in removal. And remember, if a person is in removal proceedings, again, they still have to terminate removal proceedings. But at least with this executive order is going to help in terms of joining ICE to reopen the case and terminate, so that you can be allowed to adjust status, to go back to USCIS. But that's something you can show to show residency, right? Another thing you can show as proof of 10 years residency, remember the person does not have anything, maybe the person files taxes under TI, with a TIN, a tax identification number, right? That way too, it will show on your tax return since when you've been filing taxes. You can go on irs.gov and show and look at tax transcript. It goes back to up to 10 years, I believe. It's going to show that. Or maybe you have it yourself as proof. That's another way to show 10 years of physical presence. If somehow you have a work driver license, some people in some states used to get driver license even without or state identification ID. That's true. If you have something like that, as proof. Medical bill, if you bought a car insurance, lease agreement. Those are the things you can show to show physical presence, like how long you've been living here. If you haven't been to court, if you never apply with USCIS, it's going to be a little bit challenging to show, right? That's why we're talking about medical bills. If you went to a hospital, then you can get your medical record. Then it's going to show this person went to this hospital in such and on such and such date. At that point, we can calculate the 10 years, right? Or maybe your marriage certificate, if you got married 10 years ago, right? It's going to show that you got married 10 years ago. Tax return, if you're filing jointly, your name is on the tax, then that's true. What else? Yeah, those are the things. Let's take questions. Yes, Annie, yes, and tax. Ali Keita say, hi, can a prior marriage of my U.S. citizen spouse can affect my green card? She filed for her ex-husband many years ago. And what do you advise me for evidence of bona fide? Are we talking about the same subject here, or this is a different question? Just in general, as far as marriage is concerned, bona fide marriage, if you have a children born in the marriage, birth certificate is pretty much like enough, right? To show bona fide marriage. Marriage certificate, birth certificate of children born in the marriage, bank statement, joint bank statement, joint file tax returns. What else? Affidavit of support from friend and family has to be notarized. What else we see here? Lease agreement, insurance policy, like life insurance policy or medical insurance policy that has both names on it, stuff like that. So, but I'm not sure if you're asking in regard to this new policy, or you're just asking in general. Okay? Yeah, can you please clarify? Yeah, so this is it, right? We got it. You can go on DHS website. You will see the fact sheet. You can go on the White House website. You will see it. It's clear right there, but you cannot apply now. There was a question that was asked. Somebody asked a question about, well, what if I have my I-601A waiver that is currently pending? What exactly can I do? Well, there's nothing you can do. You just leave it there pending, because this program is not starting until end of summer. And remember, this is an executive order. It can be challenged in court. Are we going to have an injunction put against it? I don't know. But as far as being challenged in court, of course, the Republicans are going to challenge this in court. But are they going to win? I don't know. So you don't want to withdraw your I-601A waiver application just yet. You just have to wait until you see this thing through, right? So that's what I'm going to advise somebody. If somebody's in removal, of course, you still have to terminate removal, because in order to adjust status, USCIS has to have jurisdiction. But they're going to give us a lot of instructions as far as how we're going to go about it. So once the instructions come at the end of summer, I'll let you know. I'll be here to update you. But this is good news, at least for now, right? We hasn't been challenged yet, so it's good. Anybody else? Do we have questions? What else? I'm trying to find something else. Trying to find something else. If you have a question, just put it there, all right? Put it there. We're gonna try to answer it. Yeah, so right now there's a they're answering questions about it. So basically it's official, right? White House holds briefing after Biden unveils the new immigration plan. So what is this thing? Yeah, so right now they have a conference going on about it as we're speaking. So oh, so you're talking in general. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, in general, in order to pretty much show a bona fide marriage, if basically you have to have if documentations, right? We prove it with documentations. What are some of those documentations? You start with your certificate of marriage, of course. If you got married before or either spouse got married before, then you have to show divorce decrees from previous marriages in order for this current marriage to be valid, to be considered valid. Um, then you have, we start with marriage certificate, divorce decrees from either spouses, um, from previous marriages, if there's any. Um, then we have documentation showing that these people have a life together. For example, joint bank statement. It has to be a checking account where it shows movement. Then we have lease agreement that the person lives together with both names on it, of course. Um, then you have affidavits of support from friends and families uh, with personal knowledge of your relationship. It has to be notarized. Then we have, if you have children born in the marriage, that's really better, because at that point the claim is really settled, because you will show birth certificate from of the children born in the marriage. Really, that's really proof enough. Um, then you show other documentation if you have like a life insurance, health insurance. Somebody is listed, like a spouse is listed as a beneficiary on it. Health insurance, a spouse is listed as a beneficiary. Car insurance, if both names are on that. Car insurance policy, or maybe sometimes you show electricity bills, anything that you have, right, that you have to show that you're commingling your assets together, like those people are intending to live together, to show their life together, pretty much. What else we got here? Yeah, we got 22 people in the house. Please go ahead and like and share. We are still answering questions about this Biden new parole in place. Um, as we move along, we're gonna know more as far as what form to use to apply, the fees and stuff like that. We just have to wait, be patient, wait until the end of summer, because they have to come up with a notice in the Federal Register notice. Okay. Chen, what if you came here on a visa and overstay and marry a U.S. citizen and have been here for 10 years? Well, if you came with a visa, what is it that is really preventing you from adjusting status? So that's the real question. What is preventing you from adjusting status if you came with a visa and you married a U.S. citizen? Whatever that's preventing you from adjusting status in the United States is still going to prevent you. So yeah, like if a person is married to a U.S. citizen, of course they can adjust status if they came with a visa, unless USCIS finds them inadmissible for some reasons, right? Criminal reasons, health reasons, public charge, all those reasons of inadmissibility. Or maybe the person is in removal and USCIS lacks jurisdiction. Okay, at that point that person has to reopen the old case, terminate removal, and go back again to USCIS and try to adjust status. So the real question is, what is it that is preventing such person to adjust status if they came with a visa? Once you answer that question, then we'll let you know what you should do, because this one is pretty specific for people who couldn't adjust status because they did not come here with a visa. You see? Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's a lot of another question here at on Instagram. Yeah, so you can go on Homeland Security website. You will see the fact sheet talking about this unity and stability of families new parole in place program, and you can go on the official website for the White House. You will see the fact sheet is again talking a little bit about it. That way you will learn. Anybody else has a question? Oh God. Okay, so anybody else has a different type of question so we can wrap up this conversation? I'm just responding to this email as I'm talking to you. So okay, so we got questions. Okay. Yes, Frederica Boham, good afternoon. I just joined. What's new? Okay, what's new is that we have this new parole in place program for U.S. citizen spouses who initially came to the U.S. without inspection. So pretty much what they're trying to do is to waive that requirement and allow people to adjust status. When is it going to start? It's not going to start until end of summer. Okay, according to the instruction on DHS website and the White House website, this program is not going to start until end of summer. They're going to publish it in the Federal Register notice. Then we will know exactly how to go about it. Not until end of summer. So now people are asking a lot of questions. Is it going to be challenged in court? Probably, but are they gonna win or stop it? I don't know. For now, everybody's just on hold. We're waiting until they actually give us a way to apply for it. We don't have a way to apply now. As a matter of fact, if you send your application today, it's going to be rejected. So everybody has to just wait until the time comes, end of summer, as they said. That's when we are going to start applying. Okay, I guess I answer your question. If you have a deportation order by a judge, if you benefit from the new law that is proposing. If you have Tom wants, if you have a deportation order, what you're gonna have to do, I guess we'll know more about it later, but the procedure is still the same. What's gonna have to do is terminate removal proceeding first. You're gonna have to join ICE, basically file a joint motion to reopen removal and terminate removal. And I guess ICE will be more likely to reopen your case because of this new executive order. Once it's final, right? Once they don't challenge it in court and so forth, then you're going to take that new executive order and show ICE that I'm eligible to adjust status even though I came here without inspection. Can you reopen my case, terminate removal? Once they terminate, then you go back to USCIS. So, but they're talking about the 3 years work permit. I don't know if you will be able to apply for 2 years even before work permit before going back to ICE. That's I don't know yet. We just have to wait and see how when the instructions once we get the instructions, right, we will know exactly how to go about it. But just know if you have order of removal, you still have to terminate removal. That's procedure. That's just how it goes. Natasha, what is you are separated U.S. spouse but still married will be eligible? Married on paper? Well, that's going to be a determination for USCIS because it says that you have to have a legal marriage, right? So bona fide marriage, good faith marriage. If you already separated, then it's not a good faith marriage anymore, right? But I can't really tell you because that's going to be based on what you submit with USCIS. Then they're going to determine because it's case by case basis. Please, is it possible for someone who's going through divorce now to get this parole? If you're going through divorce, you already filed a divorce. Remember, you have to be able, Timothy, you have to be able to show good faith marriage, okay? Like bona fide marriage. If you're going through a divorce, this is no longer a bona fide. This is not a bona fide marriage anymore, right? So if you're going through a divorce, it's not a bona fide marriage anymore. So how are you going to convince USCIS? That's the question, right? How am I going to convince USCIS that this is a bona fide marriage if I'm going through a divorce? Are you physically separated? Do you still live in the same house? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself, okay? Right? Those are the questions. Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Basically, yeah. Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Is this a good bona fide marriage? Because in my opinion, if somebody's going through a divorce, it's no longer bona fide marriage. The person's already like, this is no longer marriage. So how are you going to convince USCIS, DHS? Okay, I guess you got it, right? So we're still waiting for a couple questions before we terminate this this live session. I lost my spouse. Am I qualified? Well, that's a difficult question at this point, because it's talking about the person who's married. If you're no longer married, then I don't think so, right? You lost your spouse based on, if the person passed away, then you're no longer married. So I don't think so. But again, let's wait for the instructions. By the end of summer, we will know more. But on top of my head, I can just say that I don't think so. Yes, okay. I guess we got all questions. Whew. Yeah, we answer all questions. Please just, let's wait for the instructions. Once we get the instructions by end of summer, then we will be able to start applying. Yeah, and let's hope they don't challenge this thing in court, right? Because those people, they always come up with something. Let's just hope it doesn't get challenged in court, okay? Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. If you have questions later on, just drop it in the comment. We'll try our best. But this is it, right? We were just talking about, by the way, please go ahead and like and share. We were just talking about this new parole in place, protecting spouses of U.S. citizens. and pretty much giving them a way to adjust status if they initially got here without inspection and couldn't adjust status. That's number one. Number two, DACA recipient with higher education who got a job offer but they can't get a work visa because of unlawful presence and they can't go out, they will try to make it easier for them to get a work visa, basically, I guess, by giving them waivers and stuff like that. So that's it. That's in summary, but you can look at it on DHS website, on the pretty much on the White House website as well. That's it. Thank you very